Dr. Emily Turner, a brilliant psychologist renowned for her groundbreaking work in criminal profiling, found herself at the center of a chilling mystery that would test the limits of her expertise. It all began on a stormy night in the heart of the city, where the echoes of thunder reverberated through the deserted streets. Emily had just finished a lecture at the university when she received an anonymous package at her office. Intrigued, she opened the package to find a meticulously crafted doll, eerily resembling her. Pinned to the doll was a note that sent shivers down her spine. "The mind is a labyrinth, Dr. Turner. Can you navigate its darkest corners?" Unnerved but intrigued, Emily examined the doll closely. It was a disturbingly accurate miniature version of herself, complete with every detail down to the subtle lines on her face. The message was clear: she was being drawn into a psychological game, and the stakes were higher than she could have ever imagined. Over the next few weeks, a series of gruesome murders unfolded across the city, each crime scene adorned with cryptic clues that seemed to point directly at Emily. The killer left behind meticulously arranged scenes, each a macabre tableau of psychological symbolism. As the body count rose, Emily realized she was dealing with a sadistic mind, one that understood her intimately. The pressure mounted as the media caught wind of the story, portraying Emily as a central figure in the investigation. It was a psychological chess match, and she found herself both pawn and player in a deadly game. Determined to unravel the enigma, Emily delved into the killer's twisted mind, poring over crime scene details, deciphering cryptic messages, and analyzing the psychological motives behind each murder. As Emily's investigation progressed, the killer's taunts became more personal. Another package arrived, this time containing a chilling audio recording. The voice on the tape whispered Emily's deepest fears and secrets, leaving her paralyzed with fear. It was clear the killer was not just targeting random victims but had a profound understanding of her vulnerabilities. Haunted by the voice on the tape, Emily struggled to maintain her composure. Sleepless nights turned into a blur of paranoia and anxiety. Every shadow seemed to harbor a potential threat, and every stranger on the street became a potential assailant. The boundaries between her professional and personal life blurred as the killer seemed to invade every facet of her existence. The city became a hunting ground, and Emily, both hunter and prey, raced against time to unravel the killer's motives. The clues led her deep into the recesses of her own past, unearthing buried traumas and long-forgotten memories. It became apparent that the killer wasn't just targeting her, they were forcing her to confront the darkest corners of her own psyche. Desperation set in as Emily struggled to stay one step ahead. She enlisted the help of Detective David Martinez, a seasoned investigator with a reputation for solving the most perplexing cases. Together, they sifted through the mounting evidence, piecing together the puzzle of the killer's identity. The psychological warfare escalated, with the killer leaving increasingly disturbing messages, taunting Emily with the proximity of death. The breakthrough came when Emily discovered a pattern in the crime scenes, a symbolic representation of her own journey as a psychologist. Each murder seemed to correspond to a stage in her career, a painful reminder of cases that had left lasting scars on her psyche. It became clear that the killer harbored a personal vendetta, a twisted desire to make Emily pay for perceived sins. As the duo closed in on the killer's identity, the cat-and-mouse game reached a fever pitch. The final confrontation loomed, and Emily grappled with the realization that the only way to end the nightmare was to confront the demons of her past. The killer, however, had one last diabolical twist in store. The climactic showdown took place in an abandoned asylum, a place that held haunting memories for Emily. The killer, clad in shadows, emerged from the darkness, revealing a face twisted by madness and obsession. The air was thick with tension as the two locked eyes, each a reflection of the other's torment. In a chilling monologue, the killer revealed the motive behind the macabre game. A former patient of Emily's, scarred by perceived injustices, had embarked on a vengeful crusade to expose the flaws in her methods. The murders were a grotesque reenactment of the patient's own traumatic past, a distorted attempt to make Emily experience the pain and guilt that had haunted them for years. The final confrontation was a battle of wits and wills, a psychological duel between predator and prey. As the tension peaked, Detective Martinez burst onto the scene, his gun drawn. The killer, cornered and desperate, made a final, desperate move. In a flash of violence, the nightmare came to an end. The aftermath left Emily grappling with the scars of the ordeal, both physical and emotional. The city, once gripped by fear, slowly returned to normalcy. The media frenzy subsided, and Emily retreated from the spotlight, seeking solace in the quiet corners of her own mind. The cat-and-mouse game had taken its toll, but Emily emerged stronger, a survivor of her own personal nightmare. As she resumed her work as a psychologist, she carried the weight of the experience with her, a constant reminder of the thin line between the mind's complexities and the darkness that lurks within. The city may have moved on, but for Emily Turner, the echoes of that fateful game lingered, a haunting testament to the indomitable power of the human psyche.